it going. Today we're checking out something new from a brand new company called Otto Audio. Now this is the 1111 amp sim, and this is a little bit different from what I've been showing you guys lately on the show. I did a couple there a while back, which were more of the preset end of things, kind of took a lot of the guesswork out of getting a good guitar sound. This one is the complete opposite approach. This one is saying, screw it. We don't want you to sound like everyone else. We want you to find your own thing. And then they threw like the whole kitchen sink of tools in here and didn't really label anything as to what's what. It just goes by, you know, this sound, that sound, whatever, without actually giving you any specifics. So you're forced to do the rarest of all things when you're working on screen like I am with this thing right here. And that's use your ears. What's it sound like? Check this out. Oh yeah, this one's going to be fun. Hit it! All right, so this is the Otto Audio 1111. Right up out of the gate, it's going for $111.11. But they've got a promotion going on right now. If you use the code NONEHEAVIER, you'll get 50% off the sticker price, and that's pretty cool. Plus, they've got a 14-day free trial. Just wanted to get that out of the way before I get carried away with this thing. Because I gotta say, as far as amp sims go, this thing's an awful lot of fun. Mainly due to this right here, this mono stereo button. It'll do the typical mono thing. Cool. So yeah, mono works. It's definitely cool. But I gotta say, it's this right here, the mono stereo switch, which gives you this massive stereo field. This is kind of unique. Most amp sims, I've got to throw some kind of a stereo widener effect on it to get it that bigger sound. This comes right out of the box like that. So all you got to do is hit that mono stereo switch and you are good to go. So that's the preset Solo 100. And this is the insane thing. You go in here, there are just so many freaking presets here. Like they just go and go and go and go. And there's all these different controls and connectors and all that kind of shit. You get the back panel, you get the front panel. Let me just kind of scroll through this a little bit. I'll take you through it and we'll take a look at a couple of these just to kind of figure a tone out. And I'll show you just how crazy tweakable this thing really is. Okay, that's definitely not my kind of tone. Let's just continue. That one right there, Wrecked of Fire. That was actually sounding pretty good. But it's freaking mono, so we'll change that over to mono stereo. So we've got our basic tone here. This is where it starts to get pretty crazy. But it's really easy to screw this up too. So it's like, sometimes it's kind of good to go back to the preset and just see what they had figured out. Yeah, that gate works really nicely too. All right, yeah, back panel gets even crazier. We're gonna look at that in a minute because there's just so many controls to play with. Now, first things first, over here on the left, we've got this impedance curve control. This is where it gets pretty crazy. If you don't like the particular frequency band your guitar signal is occupying, you don't like the mids or the top or something like that, you can just go through this. You got some left and right controls here. Remember, the emphasis on this whole plugin is brutality. You can use that, and then over on the other side, you can tweak out your cabinet. And again, this is what I was talking about at the beginning of the video, is you actually have to make your choices based on what you're hearing and not what you're watching. You just click and let it go through the cabinets. You have no idea what the cabinets are or what mics they're using or anything like that. All you have is cabinet 1 through whatever. How many we got here? Like 20 cabinets or something insane like that? I don't know. It's completely off screen here. So yeah, there's a metric fuck ton of cabinets to choose from. That sounds like vintage 30 there, maybe. That's a little brittle. Hey, that might be good right there. And then we just go back to the other side here and kind of balance it out with the impedance curve and see what we get. Cool. All right. Now I want to just kind of play with that presence a little because it still might be a little bit fried sounding. Okay, great. Now this control over here where it says black, we've got this other pull down menu. All these, whatever the fuck they are, they said that this is kind of like your tone foundation. And they're not exactly saying what exactly it is, but we can just pull this up and scroll through them again. We've got our impedance figured out. We've got our cabinet figured out. We've got our amp figured out, I think. Oh, hell yeah. That's the 1111 right there, and that sounded wicked. Damn, that's kind of fun. It sounds a little bit weird on its own. I admit it may be a little bit sludgy, but that's absolutely fine. It definitely doesn't sound like your typical 5150 vintage 30 thing, which is cool. And you know, you can tell there's a lot of harmonic overtones going on here. I mean, it's just got that buzziness in there. Yeah, that is seriously cool. Now, this is the amp sim that kind of strikes me as one that'll be good for blending a whole bunch of different tones, and that's what we did in the full mix that you heard at the beginning of the video. I'm going to take you through that one more time, the full mix, and you'll hear the whole piece, but I just want to go through a few more presets here, but that was sounding really cool. And like I said, there's just this huge string of presets here, and I haven't even got through the back controls here, because, so we've got our gate here, but here you see this punish, 10 dB, and low. That's your overdrive section. So with it off, that's really nice. But if we want even more bottom end, and like that whole pre-Q curve thing going on, we can do that. And then we can add 10 dBs of gain. Getting a little insane at this point. Now, this next part here, we've got selectable power tubes. I'm gonna kind of call bullshit in a little bit here because, I've swapped out power tubes in my own dual rectifier from 6L6s to EL34s, and I got no tone shift whatsoever. I got an amplitude shift, but tubes are not equalizers. Just bear that in mind. So they might have made a little bit of shift here in the EQ curve to make you feel like something more is going on, but in the real world, tubes don't really do that. Well, there you go. Actually, 6L6 and the L34 made zero change there, so that's interesting. See what the KT88 does. We'll hold a couple chords here and make the switch. Okay, I stand corrected. That didn't really do jack shit, so okay, cool. At least they kept that real. Nice to know that somebody's not, totally bullshitting the user. Oh, you changed power tubes. There must be a tone change. No, it doesn't work like that. Maybe our breakup point, that's where you're really gonna do it. But remember, guys, tubes are not equalizers. And if anybody tells you different, tell them to shut the fuck up. I was going through the online manual there, and there's some controls here. There's, bias. We can bias the tubes, and that will change your sound a little bit. Here's a cold bias. That kind of kills the volume, doesn't it? When you play with the power section here, you can balance it out with the amplitude control here to make up for any kind of volume change. And feedback apparently gives you control to the presence and resonance controls on the front panel. If we turn that around here and start playing with these. Yeah, okay, that's pretty cool. And we switch on the back panel here. Yeah, the snarl control kind of almost seems like a presence control as well. All right, great. And again, amplitude just kind of changes that. And once again, you've got your cabinet controls in the back too. Now these resonance controls here will help you with your stereo balance if, you're kind of pulling to one side. Let me show you what I mean. Best of all, we've got an IR bypass. So if you want to use your own impulse responses, no problem. Which is cool. I mean, like, a lot of us have our own personal favorites and whatnot, and don't want to necessarily be, stuck on rails, as it were. In fact, I think even the Bogren amp knob now has a defeat IR switch in case you want to use your own with it. So that's pretty cool too. But gotta say, I'm really impressed with the tweakability of this thing, because wow, you can really get something pretty unique with this. But this is the first amp sim I've ever seen where they have a simulation of a sun amp. This is freaking cool. Yeah, so if you're into that whole stoner rock vibe, there's that. There's this one, you know, I've got solid state Wicked here. I saved this. This is using solid state stacks. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's cool. Kind of snappy, that's for sure. Not quite as tight as a tube amp. It definitely feels a little different. Oh God, here we go. Am I starting to measure stuff in feel units? If I am, somebody fucking kick me. Seriously though, it does seem a bit looser in the feel. Then again, I could just be completely making the wrong observation here because as always, human perception is flawed. We go through some of these damn presets though. Again, we've got all these different amp match presets. Stealth, what is that? I'm really curious about that. So low. Yeah, I was playing with that earlier tonight. Obviously, they're sold out. Cool. What else looks interesting? War Y'all 22 2003. What's this all about? Okay, kind of a cranked Marshally, you know, kind of thin mid-rangey thing. Okay, not really my thing, but whatever. All right, yeah, no artist presets, but there's presets for bass, and we've got baritones. Future Junt, firm lows. Let's take a look at some of these here. Let me grab the old, let me grab the 7-string here for a second. Let's see what we can get out of this. That's a little bizarre sounding. Let me just go through some of these. Wow, that's cool. Oh, that's just ridiculous. Nice job, Otto. Wow, that was really nicely done. Somebody did their fucking homework here, that's for sure. That's nice too. Oh, I think I found my favorite 7-string amp. Damn. Okay, that's really cool. I've never come across an amp sim where they've had a whole bunch of presets set up just for, you know, the lower tuned stuff and whatnot. That sounds positively gigantic. Pretty blown away there. Let's just take a look at a couple more presets. Yeah, on the 9-string preset there, it doesn't quite work as well on a 6, but it's still pretty damn cool. But I mean, you know, we're going back into the whole thing, baritones. Oh yeah, we've even got an HM2 sim. Again, this thing's just got so much stuff on it. Now, obviously, that's for a blender tone. I've been using that with great success on a whole bunch of different things, other HM2 type products and whatnot. That's cool. It's got a dedicated section right in here. And you're going to hear some of the HM2 stuff blended in on the full mix there in just a minute. Go through some of the other stuff. We've got all these auto audio presets as well. There's just so much to go on here. And that's the thing. If you kind of like something, but it might be a little too buzzy or whatnot, just remember to go through the impedance curve here in the beginning and find something that works for you. Because I think that's one of the hidden gems of this plugin right here. It really lets you do some subtle tweaks just to get things dialed in exactly right for the kind of metal tone you're looking for. Oh yeah, that is just all kinds of fun. You know, the great thing is this thing also works amazing on leads. Throw a little echo on here, and yeah, this is just so much fun. Cool. Yeah, that is just absolutely killer. I gotta say, I haven't had this much fun with an amp sims and I don't know when. Yeah, I'm very, very impressed. It's definitely not quite got that, you know, super hyper precise modern metal thing. This thing's a little bit sludgier. It's a little bit nastier. And honestly, it kind of feels a little bit more out of control. And that's definitely not a bad thing. But what really kind of blew me away, especially about the nastiness in this amp sim and the overall out of control feeling, is how it works on a full mix. Let me show you exactly what I mean. Now, we used 4 tracks there. We used 2 with like a regular tube amp type sound, and then 2 with an HM2 kind of sound, and then blended them together. And that's how we got that, you know, kind of just really pushing things to the edge, kind of out of control feel. And I gotta say, I'm very, very pleased with that sound. And that would be something I'd be more than happy to put on a client's record. I'm sure my clients would be very happy with that kind of thing, especially, you know, some of the more extreme bands, because it's really got that out of control sound. I don't know where the hell Otto Audio came from, but I like what they're doing. The guy who programmed this said he was looking for something a little bit different in amp sims and he couldn't find it, so he did it himself. And he based the whole thing around his stereo tube amp rig that he's been working with for years. Now, when I used this on the full mix, I didn't use it in mono stereo mode. I had it in full on stereo mode, and that seemed to work really well because I was running 4 tracks. I was running 2 into the first stereo occurrence and then 2 more into the HM2, full out left and right. And yeah, I was very, very happy with the blend I got. Bottom line though, at $111, it's not the cheapest amp sim out there, but it's definitely not the most expensive one either. I think this thing offers something really cool, especially for the metal players. This is a really metal centric amp sim. I know there's a few of them out there, but I've never actually seen one, you know, set up to take advantage of like the baritones and the 7 strings and all that kind of thing. I think they really knocked it out of the park, especially in that segment. I'm very impressed with that. Disclosure being what it is, yes, this is sponsored by Otto Audio, but I would not be taking it if I wasn't impressed by the amp, and I am very impressed with what this thing can do. But don't take my word for it. Head on over to Otto Audio and check it out for yourself because they've got a 14-day trial. Once again, you don't have to necessarily pay the $111.11 for it. You can use the code NONEHEAVIER and get yourself 50% off. Links are in the description below. Check it out. I'm out of here.